Drinking after weight loss surgery. Do you do it? Do you not? Do you know why? Stay tuned. Welcome back to Bariatric Beauty and Finishing School. My name's Kelsey and I am a 10-year gastric bypass post-op who has lost 256 pounds. I'm also a 17-year professional makeup artist, and today I want to take some time and talk to you guys about something that's not beauty or fashion related. It's not image related. It's sort of health related. It's drinking after weight loss surgery. It's a touchy subject and a lot of people have a lot of opinions. So I wanted to give you mine. Maybe we could have like an honest discussion about drinking. After weight loss surgery, I did not drink for the first year minus one time. I was about 6 months out when my baby sister and only sister got married, and I was the maid of honor. As we're toasting with champagne, you know, I thought, one sip, can't hurt me. And I spent the next 45 minutes laying underneath the cake table because I was sick to my stomach. We don't think that a liquid can really do much damage. It's also why a lot of us got to be morbidly obese in the first place, drinking full sugar sodas or smoothies that are healthy but 600 calories, those kind of things. We don't often think about liquids when it comes to our diet. So drinking is one of those things as well. There is no calorie-free alcohol. All alcohol has some designation of calorie. It's usually about 60 calories per shot, which doesn't seem like a lot, right? But it adds up over a night of drinking. After that, I didn't drink for a long time, probably till I was about 2 years or 3 years out. I started having wine, white wine, or I would drink gin with a water and lime. It's actually a drink that is now named after me at a bar I used to go to in Japan, and it's called the Kelsey, which is funny. But anyway, it's 1 shot of gin, a tall glass of water, perfectly regular water, ice, lime wedges, and a little bit of lime juice. So it was an easy drink for me that kept me hydrated. It also never made me sick. So it was something that I would have when I would go out with friends, out to dinner. I would make at home if I was feeling like having a drink. Anything that was a colored liquor made me very sick. It did beforehand, so I didn't really take into consideration if maybe it was something to do with my surgery. Each to their own. It was just in these last few months. I am about to be 11 years out in September, and I blacked out. I had 2 glasses of white wine. At this point, I was having wine almost every night, at least a glass with dinner or a glass in the bath. And I had 2 glasses and I blacked out for 6 hours. And it wasn't the type of blackout where I just passed out and went to sleep. I had full conversations with my family. I put my son to bed. I watched a movie, I cooked dinner, I ate dinner. I spent time with my partner. I emailed friends and family, I texted, I did all kinds of stuff. And I woke up in the morning with absolutely no memory. Talk about scary. And this is one of the dangers that happens after weight loss surgery. Unfortunately, we now have these tiny stomachs, and if you're like me and you had gastric bypass, the alcohol enters your stomach and then immediately enters your large intestine. You now get drunk really fast. 1 glass of wine never made me feel drunk, but it probably hit me the same as 3 to 4 glasses of wine would for a regular person. So I never drank on an empty stomach, so that wasn't something that was really a problem. But this is happening so often to post-ops that I just wanted to take a minute and talk about it. So that happened, and the next day I sat down with my partner and I was like, that is really friggin' scary. Like, what if something would have happened? How would I have reacted? You know, I'm a mom, I'm a girlfriend, I am a human, and what if there would have been an emergency and I couldn't handle myself? So I stopped drinking. Do I miss it? Yes. I loved having a glass of wine at night with dinner or in the bath. I liked that sort of release feeling that you get after a glass of wine, but just wasn't worth it anymore. When I reached out to my friends and family, I am Canadian, so we are known as, you know, seasoned drinkers. They were very supportive. I'm sure the first time we all hang out together and I'm not drinking, it's going to be a little bit weird for everyone. But I need to take care of my health, and I'm not willing to let things like that happen in my life. I'm the one in control. So that's my story of why I don't drink. I do believe it's directly related to my weight loss surgery that's happened. I have had versions of that have happened in the past, and I've kind of chalked it up to, oh, I didn't drink much, or it was really hot outside, or that kind of thing, but it was definitely a really, really scary experience for me. So let's talk about transfer addictions. I don't believe in transfer addictions. I don't really believe in food addiction. When I was 400 pounds, I wasn't addicted to food. I liked food, and I made so many excuses for why or when or what or all those kind of things. So I don't believe that you will transfer from eating too much or eating French fries nonstop to being an alcoholic. That being said, alcoholism is a real disease. And if you have a family history of it, if you yourself has a history of it, weight loss surgery is not going to change that. What is going to change is your tolerance. And even the most seasoned drinkers can have a scenario like what happened to me, happen to them, and it comes out of nowhere. Like I said, I had been drinking regularly for years, and all of a sudden it happened. So really take that into consideration when you are out in public. You're on a first date, it's maybe not the time. If you want to sip on a glass of wine, I'm not saying don't drink. Please don't hear this as me saying don't drink. I'm just saying be careful. So what that means, what does that mean? Be careful. It means make sure you've eaten before. Make sure you have a plan for the evening or for the day when you're out. Make sure you're with people you trust. A first date is likely not a time to test things out. So if you haven't drank yet, I'd skip it for now. If you have, maybe have a drink watered down with water. Like I said, one shot in a very tall glass filled with ice and sip on that for the entirety of the night. That's fine. No one is gonna pressure you, and if they do, they're not the person you wanna be with anyway. Second thing is, nobody notices. So there are many times that I go out with friends to dinner, out in social situations where everyone's drinking, and I'll hold a glass of white wine, that's water. No one's gonna ask you, can I try that, and make sure that that's wine, or make sure that that's a cocktail? No, nobody's gonna ask. So do what's safe for you. If you don't feel like you're in a situation where if you blacked out right now that you would be safe, then skip it. Have a sparkling water with a lime in it. No one's gonna ask you if there's alcohol in it. And if they do, lie. Are they gonna try it? No. So you can go out with your buddies. Let's say you were heavily a beer drinker before. You can say, hey, I am on a new path and a new lifestyle. That means to me, beer doesn't have an option. I don't have room in my diet today to have a beer, so I'm just gonna have this cocktail instead and just have your water, or have a diet soda. I don't condone diet soda regularly, but in a case where, let's say you're in Las Vegas and everyone is having a drink, it's okay to have one or two to keep you going through. Just make sure it's sugar-free, because full sugar soda is gonna have you just as sick very fast. So that's something to keep in consideration. If you are gonna drink lots of water. So my rule of thumb is always, for every drink you have one glass of water and space it out. So let's say you have one drink, wait 30 minutes, drink your water, then have another one. Shots at the bar, I'm sorry, they just aren't for us anymore. Our bloodstream is already jam-packed with all of the stuff that it needs to work with. It cannot tolerate this shot of alcohol you're gonna have. So I know it sounds like really tempting and really fun, and you used to do it, but you also used to be morbidly obese. So it's time to take back control and make good decisions. So there are a lot of other options out there. There's the skinny syrups, the skinny cocktails, I think they're like wine coolers and that kind of thing. Read the label and do your research. If it's not gonna hurt you, if it's low sugar, low in carbs, and you can fit it into your daily diet, go for it. I am not gonna tell you not to drink. I'm just here to tell you about the things that have happened to me, and so that you have an idea of what could happen to you. Doesn't mean it's going to, but it's always good to have the full picture rather than the little bit of picture, right? Right, I just wanna recap. If you're gonna drink, be careful, have a plan, be with people you trust. Number 2, make sure there's no sugar in it. Cocktails and sugary blender drinks, stay away from those. It's gonna make you really sick. And if you don't want to drink, if you're not comfortable in your situation, if you're less than a year out, or you just don't want to, hold a glass, no one's gonna notice. You can toast that beautiful new bride with a wine glass of water just the same as the person who's toasting with champagne. Trust me, I've done it. So that's it for today's PSA, public service announcement for bariatric post-ops. Again, my name's Kelsey. This is Bariatric Beauty and Finishing School. I'm delighted to have you. We are, as of this morning, 225 people strong. I want to see that number grow. I want to create and foster a beautiful community of people who love and care about how they feel and living their best life. So join me for the next video. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.